It's a dull old day. Again, I haven't done very well with the weather this year. Actually, nobody in this country has done very well with the weather this year in the UK. So, I'm in my little hidey hole, and as you can see, there's a considerable tide running through this hidey hole at the back of Whitton Island. Birds are not very exciting today either. You're rather bored, aren't you? So I'm going to do the great engine experiment. Now, I know this outboard works a treat, and I have been carrying my little Honda in the locker around with me. So today, while I'm just waiting for the sun to break through, I'm going to swap them over and see how the little 2.3 does against the tide. So next shot you'll see will be the little Honda in there. Does look tiny. So this is the other engine. It looks massive. It is massive. Seriously, lads, this is 25. This is a 25 kilogram engine, and I wouldn't want anything bigger. Couldn't move anything bigger than that around. This is much nicer size. So a few people have asked me about this hole at the back of the boat, and when the boat is motoring fast or even sailing fast, then the water, it starts to dig in its stern and the water does start to come back up here. But I really like the idea that this cockpit has a big drain at the back, so I'm pleased with that. So this little engine is now working in the tunnel, so we'll see whether David Thomas's tunnel idea works. The tide here, I reckon, is running at about 2 knots. So it'll be a good test. I'm on an anchorage. If I go aground, it doesn't matter. There's a pile of rocks over there, but the chance of going aground on that pile of rocks. Now, the advantage of using this engine is, first of all, it's in the tunnel, so it's out of the way of any weed. Hopefully I'll get less turbulence off it. It's easier to move around, cheaper to replace, and they really, really sip petrol. Really, they use hardly any petrol. They are amazing, amazing little engines. So, first of all, I'm going to drift off with the tide just to see how strong the tide goes, and then we'll try and run the engine. So that is that. In a bit. Wow, that is really impressive. impressive. I was doing 2.4 knots against the tide. What I'm going to do is to just drift with the tide and tell you what we were fighting. There's a bit of wind as well, but that was pretty good. Good. Okay, that's we are drifting reasonably well. This says, at the moment it says 1.5 knots of tide. Let's see how long it takes us to get up to the full tidal speed. And where's this tide taking me? Straight for the pile of rocks. Bloody brilliant. Wow. 1.7 knots of tide, and we were doing 2.5 knots. So let's say this will push it along at 4 knots, which is absolutely, I think it'll probably do better than that on a quiet day. That's absolutely fine, that's brilliant.